one thing that's really important in business is understanding that when you have a team and when you have people that you are holding accountable and you have people that you pay, that your behavior and your actions set the tone and the precedent for the productivity of your entire workforce. And so what this means is what a lot of entrepreneurs do is the reason that they hire, and when they hire with the expectation and the premise, I'm hiring this person so I can do less work. Or I'm hiring this person so I can have more holidays. Or I'm hiring this person so I can be lazy and not do anything. And every entrepreneur's dream seems to be to quote unquote fire themselves from their business. Now, this is fine if you want to build a little lifestyle business, make a couple of grand, make some six figures, multi six figures, and live on a beach. But if you want to build something really great, and you want to build a company of, significance, and you want to, establish yourself in the Hall of Fame of business, the billionaire mark, the 9-figure mark, you need to understand that, like, how you behave and how you think and how you act is like, that's how other people will act in your company. Let me give you an example. I'm here in Scotland. So I'm in Edinburgh at the moment. I'm at this beautiful castle, and I'm staying... Oh, let's just move this mic here. Okay. And I'm staying in this really cool castle. And one of the reasons that I booked this castle was to record some ads. And what happened at the start of the week is I got the flu. Now, I'm still a little under the weather, but it's fine because I need to get these videos done because they have to be done. And on Monday, we had a videographer, really cool guy called Ollie, come to the castle. So he drove up, we paid him for a couple of days of recording. I woke up on Monday with the flu, so I'd had a fever all night. I'd slept for about 2 hours. I was like exhausted. I was like coughing and like sneezing everywhere. Like, you know what it's like to have the flu. Not pleasant at all. And I was like, shit, I've got to record like 100 ads today. And for any of you who have ever made ads before, that it is by far and large the most exhausting thing that an info entrepreneur can do by a long shot, because the energy you have to have on ads is obscene. And in that moment, like, I'm here in Scotland with a couple of employees, a couple of team members, right? And, I was cognizant of the fact, like, oh shit, like, okay, these guys, like, how I behave during the course of the next couple of days and how I approach these ads is how these guys are going to approach their workload when they're sick or when they're tired. And so I basically did the ads. And that's not me telling you this, like, looking for some pat on the back or say, oh, that's great, Charlie, well done, mate, you made your ads while she was sick. The point I'm making is it would have been very, very easy as the boss of the company with minimal accountability to say to the videographer, hey man, okay, look, I know you've come up, like, we'll pay you for the days, but let's just get some B-roll and we'll do the ads when I get back home when I'm feeling better. Could have done that. But instead, I told everyone, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get the ads done. And we got the ads done. And the ads were great and they were fine. And I was really sick and not very well. But, like, you've got to bear this in mind, and you've got to remember that, like, there's people that look up to you. And so the point I wanted to make today is you have to become very ruthless with your work ethic, and you have to become incredibly obsessed with everything that you do, and understanding that the culture that you create in your business when it comes to productivity, when it comes to work ethic, when it comes to grinding, hustling, is a product of your ability to do it yourself and nothing else. Like, if I'm looking at people in my company and they're not working hard enough, if they're not doing long enough hours, then I'm not going to point the finger at them. I'm going to point the finger at myself, because what you get out of your people is what you tolerate, and what you tolerate from others is usually an indication of what you tolerate from yourself. And so if you're working like half-assed and you're not shipping projects on time and you're not being productive and you're not being ruthless, then you can't really command that from other people, because people will only work hard for people that they respect. And part of earning someone's respect is treating them in the same way that you would expect them to treat you, or treating work or another, external variable in the same way that you would. And so you can't really expect from people for them to do things that you wouldn't. And that's that. And it's like, there's 101 examples of this. Like, for example, I've just finished recording a free course called Imperium Academy. And it's launching in a couple of weeks. So by the time you watch this, it might have launched. And I spent a year on this course. And, my entire team saw that journey. They saw me start it in September, August of 2024. It's now like September, nearly October of 2025. And I spent like my entire life on this course. And so one of the principles in my company and one of the fundamental underpinnings of my company culture is product first and client worship. And what that means is we want to always put the client first before ourselves. So we always want to make sure that we're taking care of clients and looking after them and really trying our best to like make things that really help people. And client worship, yeah, and then product first. So putting like the product comes before everything else. Like I want to put product before marketing, before sales, before accounting. Like the main thing that I always concern myself with is product quality. And that's represented by how much we invest in the product, how much we talk about the product, how much time we spend like making decisions about the product to making it good. And so that's something that I hold like really, really important in my company. And so, you know, in order for that to be effectively executed on by my team, then they also need to buy into this principle, this idea that the product comes first and the client needs to be worshipped. And there's no better way to encourage absolute abidance to a principle than to abide by it yourself. So all of that to say, with building this free course and the level of detail and commitment and focus and ruthlessness that went into this product, when my team, or my research and development team for my products, come to build like their products and come to build products for my clients, the bar has been set really high. And so you want to imagine yourself like as a boss. Imagine it like you are competing with your team in a pole vaulting competition, in the Olympics, for example. This is a good example. And you need to be able to vault higher than all of your team. Now, not on specific skills, because like, you know, for example, like I've got a bug on me here. This is what I get for sitting outside in Scotland in the evening. But like, you know, for example, are they like just on this thing? I've got like little green bugs all over me. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, for example, like the Olympics. So let's say that you are doing a pole vault, and I'm not like going to try and beat my sales manager at sales management. And I'm not going to try and beat my sales reps at closing. And I'm not going to try and beat my operations manager at operating. And I'm not going to try and beat my accountant at accounting. That's not the point I'm making here. What I'm saying is you need to set the bar, like you need to be able to vault higher than any of them in terms of how much effort and energy expenditure you can put into the company. Because that's how they're going to get really good results. So like, how do you get great results as a closer? And how do you get really good results as a sales manager or as an operator or as a media buyer or as a creative person? Like the only way you're going to get results like that is effectively if you're putting in tons of effort. And so as the boss, you're the person that needs to set that bar incredibly high, like so high to the point where your employees, like they look at you and they kind of deify you. And they're like, geez, like how the hell, this guy has just got a ridiculous amount of energy. And, you know, you display that through things like working really hard when you're really sick, or, you know, putting in obscene hours or building products that are just absolutely ridiculous that people look at and think, well, how has this guy done this? And when you can learn to do that, and when you can learn to display incredible discipline, your team will respect you, they'll follow you, and they'll listen to you. And this is also why I've never bought stupid supercars or flexed on my team, and it's why I lived in the Dubai Palm House, which was honestly one of my biggest mistakes ever, but that's the story for another day. But that's kind of the point, is it's like if you want their respect and if you want them to follow you and if you want them to behave and work hard, you have to set that example, and it has to be genuine. You can't make it look like you're working hard. Like you can't just tell them like, yeah guys, I'm working really hard. Like there has to be some sort of production to make that happen. So yeah, that was on my mind. Wanted to share it with you. If you want to build a good team that actually follows you and helps you build sick shit, that's how you do it.